What's good, y'all? I'm here with another video. We are going to talk about the Baphomet statue. And the goal for this video is to basically um kind of expose a little bit of the symbols that you're gonna see in the Baphomet statue. I'm gonna start out with just a video at first, and then right after the video, I got some I'm gonna pull up a drawing of it, and I'm kind of gonna just show you guys a little bit of the origin and symbolic behind this Baphomet statue and what you should look out for and how deep this rabbit hole gets. So let's just get right into it and let's get right.
The sigil of Baphomet is one of the most controversial symbols out there. It's the official insignia of the Church of Satan, created in 1966 by the founder of the church, Anton LaVey, to represent earthly desires and earthly principles. The Church of Satan describes the sigil as a powerful image and the preeminent visual distillation of the iconoclastic philosophy of Satanism. So, what exactly is the sigil of Baphomet, and what does it represent? To understand this, we need to look at the individual Gnostic and occult elements of the sigil. Number 1, an inverted pentagram. The pentagram is a 5-pointed star drawn in an uninterrupted line. This symbol has been around for over 5,000 years, making it virtually impossible for any modern religion to claim it as theirs. Initially, the pentagram was seen as a protector against evil. Each point of the pentagram represented fire, air, water, and earth, with the spirit as the highest point. It represented order and balance, with the spirit as the highest exponent of it all. If the pentagram meant order and balance, then an inverted pentagram meant chaos, and the spirit at the lowest point represented perversion and evil.
I find it funny how, listen to this, y'all. Doesn't Jesus call himself the morning star, right? In the Bible, King James Version. Like, doesn't he call himself that? If Jesus is the morning star, right? And if he is the root of balance and in all things, right? Purity, don't you just find it funny how Satan makes himself the opposite of that? You know what I mean? I just wanted to point that out there. But it's kind of crazy how like it just all plays out, but let's keep going.
Number 2, Baphomet's head. The goat's head that is within the inverted pentagram represents Baphomet. Baphomet is linked to other goat-headed deities, including Benebdijet, or the Goat of Mendes, of Egypt, Pan of Greek mythology, and Cernunnos of Celtic beliefs. These gods represented fertility, sexuality, lust, and debauchery. Baphomet is a false god according to Christianity, and was allegedly worshipped by the Knights Templar. He is linked to dark forces and all that is wrong.
One more thing, I tried telling y'all, like when the last video we was talking about the cult of Baal, and the Knights Templar has some sort of foundation. You know what I mean? They have some sort of foundation, and they are part of this drone too. So it's not, like I said, it's very deep. Like, it's very deep how this whole thing plays out. But I always tell people, you always gonna go back to the root. No matter when you keep diving deep to the rabbit hole, you always gonna go back to the root of and the origin of all things. So we'll get to that, more of that later.
In the world. Number 3, the word Leviathan in Hebrew. The concentric circles containing the word Leviathan in the counterclockwise direction refer to Leviathan, the dragon of the abyss, a sea serpent mentioned in Judaism as one of the central representations of evil in the world. Each letter of the word is aligned with a point of the inverted pentagram. While each of these symbols go back thousands of years, the sigil of Baphomet itself is only a little more than a half-century old. When these elements are put together, the sigil of Satan creates a representation of the true nature of the Church of Satan. Today, the sigil of Baphomet represents the faith of members of the Church of Satan, which, contrary to popular belief, is not a demonic cult, but an atheistic association that advocates for individual liberty and freedom. However, to most people, the symbol represents evil, darkness, the occult, and magic.
I also find it funny how they say that it's an atheist ideology, and you know why I can understand why it's an atheist ideology is because remember, what does an atheist believe in? They don't believe in God, or they believe there is no God. Now, a person who goes to hell, right, or a person who goes to the pit, God is not there. There is no God there. Only the devil and the fallen angels. So, like I said, like you probably didn't even think of that. Some of y'all probably didn't even think of that. It's like, oh, they just don't believe he exists. They just believe that it's all evolution. Nah, it's not that. Some of them do believe he exists. They just don't believe in him. And then it's the other way around. Some of them who die in their sins, that's where there's no God, and that's what they put their belief in. No one thinks like that though. So just want to put that out there with y'all.
For them, it's a symbol that should be avoided. What do you think about the sigil of Baphomet? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.
All right. So now we are going to go to the picture of the Baphomet statue, and we're gonna break this down. Okay. Um, I'm only gonna do a couple of I'm only gonna show you a couple of symbols and a couple of things here. I'm gonna try to get through most of it, but so all right. So now we have the symbol here. I hope I can see this whole thing. Hold on. I'm gonna just go to it a little bit. So now let's I'm gonna point out a couple of things. Okay. So this is crazy. Like I'm gonna tell you how crazy this is. Okay, so let's start out with um, if you look under the Baphomet and you see this little snake, look at the snake, look at the rod, right, and just look at this whole picture, right. Like you see a snake and a rod in the middle, and then you see on his hands, you see like him holding up two fingers, and then on the other side he's holding two fingers down. Then you see something that says so. I think it says solve, and then it says Kogolga, right? You see those things there, right? And we'll get to the symbol, but we're gonna start with one at a time. So I want to show y'all the snake part. So if you look in this part right here, right, you see it shows a snake, a rod, and then another snake. Okay. So now let's just look at. I typed in the healthcare snake symbol, right? Because every time you look at the healthcare snake symbol, I've always wanted to question what that thing was. So let's go to it. All right. So look at this. Okay. Look at this very carefully. Oh gosh. Now we go to this picture, right? Look at the snakes. Look at the rod. And look at the wing. Now let's go to the Baphomet statue. Look at the snakes. Look at the rod. Look at his wings. And they just hide in the person there because they don't. Remember, Satan likes to hide in the dark. Okay, so he's not going to show his face. He's not going to show his self in the in the symbol. You know what I mean? And remember, the enemy likes to hide himself in plain sight. Okay, so that's just something. That's just one of the things we just exposed there. Now let's go to another thing. Let's look at um let's look at this part right here, this hand symbol. Okay. Now you notice that he has two fingers, kind of looks like a deuce finger, but it's not deuces. It's more of like just like a it's like a it looks more like a command, right? Now, if you go on Google and I have it here, if you type in Jesus Christ, right? You just type in this name, Jesus Christ. What's the first thing you see, right? You see Jesus, right? Or Jesus, right? And we're just gonna go to let's not go to this one. Let's go to another one. Let's look at just the most common one here. Look at this one. Here we go. Perfect example. Look at this. What's this Jesus doing in this photo? Look right here, right here, right. Look at this hand right here. Okay. Look at the two fingers. Look at the other two fingers, and then look at the thumb. right? Now, if you go here, look at the two fingers, look at the other two fingers, and then look at the thumb, right? And you could find this on almost any photo looking up Jesus Christ, right? Why is that there? You know what I mean? What is the coincidence of that? And I think even Jesus himself um told his followers, and in the times of the Old Testament, don't don't make a graven image, or you know what I mean, don't make images, you know, one of the 10 commandments. And this is why: you make an image, the devil is going to copy it. You know what I mean? That's why he says believe in the word of God, not the symbol of God. See what I mean? Not the symbol, because any symbol can get corrupt and just turned a different way. You know what I mean? So that's just another thing, you know. So let's keep going. Okay, so now you see these words on his arm, on his forearm, right? It says solve. It says solve, and then um Coagulga, whatever that thing is. And I'm pretty sure I had this up somewhere, but I'm gonna just type it in and see if I can find it. So let's just go to solve and then Google. Let's just point this up, right? And let's just see what it means. Okay, let's just go to the thing here and let's just see what it means here. But okay, in Latin, finally found something. This word basically means to dissolve and to break down, right? So if you put these words together, it just means to dissolve and break down in the first sentence, to break a substance down. So now ask yourself this question, right? What does Satan want to do with his enemies, right? He wants to dissolve, right? I'm gonna put this word up for y'all. Dissolve and break down. Let's just go here first. So remember, dissolve just means to break down, right? And then if we go um more deeper, there was another word that it had for it. But basically, oh, to bind. To bind. That's what the coagula meant. Is to bind, to break down and bind. Okay, just you guys look this one up, because I've been trying to look for this for a little bit. But if you just type those words in and you look at the Latin or the Hebrew origin of it, it just means to break down and bind, or to dissolve and bond. Now we know as Christians, right? The devil is always trying to break us down or tear us down, right? Break us and bind us in spiritual chains, right? And we see now he don't just do that with Christians. He do that with everybody. He does that with his own people. He do that with um every religion in the book. Anything you can believe, you know, anything that you see, he gonna be after. He's just after the Christians more because we see the nonsense that he's doing, basically. And that's why I always tell people, like, that's why these are what his hands are meant to do. You know, his hands are meant to break you down and to bind you up and to keep you there for a long time. Now, if you look at this name on the bottom, it says Eliphas Levi. Now, this guy was a so-called holy figure, and he was basically a sage, right? So now we're going to just click on the word sage, and let's see what a sage is. Sage, I'm going to just type in religious definition, right? So basically, a sage is somebody who is a spiritual mentor. I don't know why it just took me back like that, but we're going to go back to it. That's all a sage is a spiritual mentor with insight and understanding. You know what I mean? So now, if you type in his name, right, this is the guy that I'm guessing this is the guy's name on under this Baphomet, right? This is his name, right? I'm guessing he drew it, but either way, this guy understood the origin of this Baphomet. And if you look at what he did, right, it says right here he was a sage, a poet. You know what poets do? They write music. Um, he also was a author. I think he wrote many books. But if you look here, right now, look at this list of books he wrote. All of it, all of it has some sort of witchcraft or ideology of witchcraft, right? You see right here, the doctrine of transcendence, the history of magic, the great mysteries. You know what I mean? The magical ritual of the sanctum, the doctrine and ritual of high magic. Like this ain't no joke. This ain't little Harry Potter spells. This is like intense witchcraft to cause certain bondage to people, curses, spells. Um it's a lot of things, you know what I mean? Sanctum Regan. And like I said, there I always tell people this, there is an origin to every single thing. And look at this blasphemous on his forehead. Didn't the Bible say that Satan is blaspheming God? Now he's gonna put the star the right way on his forehead. Don't the Bible say that the beast or the Antichrist has a blasphemous name on his forehead? And if you look at the true origin of Satan, right, and his symbol, it's an upside down star, not a right side up star, right? Like you can't make this up, you know what I mean? And of course, he got the goat head. You know, he's probably one of the greatest deceivers of all time. You know what I mean? Like he's one of the most um disturbing forces of evil. Actually, he is the most disturbing entity of evil. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone is more evil than this thing right here. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So, I would get to the moons, but I'll be honest, I don't have too much information about the moons. You know, I kind of got some ideas in Revelation, but I'm not gonna say anything for that. I'm gonna keep this a little bit basic for y'all in short. So, in all honesty, thank you guys for seriously watching this, man. It's truly a blessing to have you guys a part of this, and I just pray that we get a lot more videos like this out more. You know what I mean? This is something that I really want y'all to really just look really deep into. You know what I mean? Like this is not a game. This is not a coincidence. This is really a serious thing that we all need to pay attention to. With that being said, I hope you guys have a blessed day and a blessed night. And just stay in prayer, keep grinding, and endure to the end. Shalom.